Up next for this session, we have the power of the ask, how one bold question can change everything. So, have you ever stopped yourself from asking something because you assumed the answer would just be no? This lightning talk is a reminder that boldness doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's one moment of courage that changes everything. So, please welcome Starr Stephenson, Senior Marketing Manager at Deltek, to the stage, and she's going to talk about the power of the ask. Welcome, Starr. Take it away. Oh, where did she go? Maybe she's on mute. Are you on mute?
No.
Here. I can hear you. Keep talking. Yep.
Okay. I don't know where it went. Sorry about that. All right. Well, it started with the perfect stool. And I mean perfect. I was at an event at one of our customers' offices and I saw this collection of stools. And I immediately thought, well, I have to have them. They'd be perfect for our booth this summer. And so I sat on them. It was the right height. It wasn't too short. My feet were just off the ground. It was firm. It was comfortable. It was modern. And I thought, well, that stool understood the assignment. And I didn't just want it. I was irrationally excited about it. So I flipped it over, found the tag, snapped a photo, and went down a rabbit hole. Pretty quickly, I realized, well, there's no price listed, and that means they're custom. And that really is code for you can't afford it. And I should have stopped there, but I was curious, and curiosity is dangerous in the best way. So I called their headquarters in London, and they told me I needed to talk to someone in the US office, who told me I needed to talk to someone at a regional office, who transferred me to someone else. And just when I thought, I've lost my mind, I cannot possibly make one more phone call about a stool, Andrea picked up in Boston. And she said, well, what can I do for you? So I told her. I launched into the whole thing, how I found the stool, how I had to have it, but I was pretty sure it was out of budget. And she chuckled and confirmed my fear and said, at 800. So, immediately I'm like, these are $800 a piece. I felt my stomach drop. $800 for a stool, that's not going to happen. So I could have said, okay, thanks, and moved on. But instead, I asked the uncomfortable question. I said, do you ever loan them out? And, we're building this booth for a major event full of architects and designers. We'd love to showcase your brand. And she said, well, let me get back to you. And she did. She didn't just say yes, she custom ordered $10,000 worth of furniture for us. Furniture she didn't have in stock, just because I asked. And what hit me in that moment wasn't really that it was saving me money or how pretty the furniture looked. It was that I almost didn't ask, because that would have been fine too, right? I would have just ordered through the exhibitor, services and moved on. But something clicked for me. And look, this talk isn't about furniture, but it's about the moments we don't ask, the emails we don't send, the follow-ups we don't make, and how we pre-reject before anyone else can. And how do we change that perspective? So why did we stop asking? How do we rebuild that muscle? And where can this be impactful for you? Well, we don't ask because we assume the answer is no. It didn't happen overnight, though. Somewhere along the way, after an idea got shot down, a budget got changed, and you got overlooked, you started protecting yourself. You started pre-rejecting, and you stopped raising your hand. And it's not because you're incapable, but because you just got tired of hearing no. Making the ask isn't a personality trait. I'm not inherently better at it than anyone else. It's a muscle. And if you don't use it, it gets weak. So start small. Ask for feedback from a colleague. Ask for an introduction to coffee. Ask how you can collaborate more with a team you haven't been working with much. That 10-minute coffee can turn into a mentor, and asking for a small discount could save 5% on AV. Low risk ask, build confidence, and that confidence compounds. Next, you need to frame the why. Andrea didn't just let me have $10,000 worth of stools because I asked. She felt my excitement. She understood why it mattered. It was just a stool, but I cared, and she felt that. And she also understood what she might get out of it. The ask didn't change, the framing did. Can we borrow stools is transactional, but we're building something high impact for that your brand fits perfectly. Sounds collaborative. Another example is, a few years ago, I had a senior role open up on the team I was at, and they didn't ask me, they didn't promote me, and my immediate response was, "But I've been showing up. I've been amazing. What's going on?" Like, it was emotional, but it was also defensive, and I was letting myself kind of get in my own way. If I went into that leader's office ready to be, frustrated, she would feel defensive too. And so instead, I changed the way I asked. I asked, how do I get there? And instead of her having to defend why I didn't get this promotion, we were able to instead have a conversation that matched what I'd been doing, what the opportunity was. And that led to encouragement to apply for that role, which ultimately led to landing it. It was the same ambition, but it was a different energy. That question changed the conversation. And if I had gone in defensive or entitled, I don't think it would have been the same outcome. So what's one idea you didn't ask for because you assumed the answer would be no? We all have them. The new event idea, the new tool worth trying, that career that seems out of reach, and you tell yourself it wouldn't happen and that the answer would be no. And yeah, you might be right sometimes, but what if it isn't? What's the harm in asking? You've got to get comfortable with no. No is not failure, it's data. It gives you insight on the why. It also allows you to open the door for more questions, understanding budget and fit and timing. And when you don't take it personally, you learn from it. Opportunities like this show up everywhere, right? Salary negotiations, sponsorship contracts, etc. And so early in my career, a boss challenged me, to get a hotel service fee lowered. It's so cringeworthy now, but he felt like I'm not going to pay 25% if I don't know the quality of the service. And even though that's the industry standard, he made me ask. And I'll say it really quietly, it worked. I got it lowered. And it's proof that even the most outrageous asks sometimes do have a yes. And I guess the real question is, what's the cost of not asking? Lost revenue, missed opportunity, stalled growth? Maybe your next ask is getting something added to your sponsorship, starting small. Maybe it's a stretch goal. Maybe it's a compensation conversation. Maybe it's that idea that's been noodling in your head for the last 6 months. But your next bold ask isn't reckless, it's strategic, and it's where growth happens. So I challenge you to make one ask you've been holding back on. Send the email, make the call, follow the thread, because sometimes the right yes is already waiting. You just have to ask. Thanks. Hope you follow me on LinkedIn and let me know if you need anything.
Awesome. Thank you, Starr.